just got a few notes.
Just a few minutes.
Several volumes worth. Thank you.
It's all right, my taxi won't go without me, so I'm not worried.
I'd like to start by thanking people for coming, because it would have been a very peculiar celebration if it was just Tara and me by ourselves. And I especially want to thank Jackie Lewis, because now that it doesn't matter, Tahara has actually spilled the beans. And he's told me that it was you who initiated the process of nominating me for an honour, with other people then coming on board and contributing. So thank you. At a time like this, you always remember absent friends, and in particular starting with Henry Gutterman. And I used to have this standing joke with Henry whenever we met, which was that, Henry, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. And I was in my sort of mid-50s, and Henry was in his late 70s. And Henry, of course, had an MBE. So I'm continuing to follow in his footsteps. Afzal Khan, the other co-founder of the Muslim Jewish Forum, sadly can't be with us. He's overseas. And Naim al-Hassan has got a niece's wedding, and I had to agree with him that family weddings actually have to take priority. And it occurred to me that both of the Muslim Lord Mayors of Manchester have actually been closely associated with the forum. And I think that's actually quite striking in itself. When Heather makes speeches and is interviewed about the forum, she often talks about the impact it's had on her life and her range of friendships. And the same, of course, is true for me. Before the forum existed, I knew Jewish colleagues at work. I had Jewish clients. In fact, one of my Jewish clients I worked with continuously from the time that I started at Price Waterhouse in 1987 until he retired, just before 2009 when I retired. And I attended a Seder at his house in 1994. But that was it. That was the extent of my connections with the Jewish community, either colleagues or clients, but no social contacts of any kind. And I'd lived in this country for over 50 years, and I had never set foot inside a synagogue. The forum has changed everything. And you have a situation where you start off with acquaintances that you've met at these events, and then the acquaintances become colleagues because you're working together to achieve common objectives, and then the colleagues become friends. Friends who are simply friends because you know them, friends that you argue with and have rows with, because with friends you're not always on your best behaviour. And that's one of the signs of whether you have a true friendship or not. And it's also led me personally to wider connections with the Jewish community, not just in Manchester but also in London and nationally. And I have some good news and some bad news. The good news, in a sense, is that we are still unique in the UK, but that's also bad news because we shouldn't be unique. And our uniqueness makes us special, but the reality is that we need far more organisations like us elsewhere in the UK. And I was asking myself, why have we succeeded when other attempts to get similar things off the ground have not succeeded? And I think the answer is that, first of all, we've had very realistic goals. We concentrate on people getting together, talking to each other, getting to like each other, often eating, but achievable, realistic goals. And we have a realistic way of operating. We do things that we like, we do things that are within our capabilities, and that's why we're still going 11 years after we started. But despite these goals looking apparently sort of easy, we've actually had a very big external impact far beyond the people who actually come to our events, because we have an impact on the mainstream media. We've even been in the Daily Sport. Remember?
Yes. It's the Star.
The Daily Star, yes. And as well as the mainstream media, our website has a genuine global reach. People all around the world read it and get in touch with us, and social media. So what I would like to do is all of us to stand and the toast is the Muslim Jewish Forum of Greater Manchester.
That's quite a mouthful. Long may you be.
Thank you.